Yeah, you should look up this video here on YouTube about Obama's failed nuclear EMP attack. I'll play a little bit of it here for you.
On September 3rd, you may recall, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina said in response to blocking Iran from developing nuclear weapons, these words: "Those nuclear weapons in the hands of terrorists could result in a bomb coming to Charleston Harbor." That's according to a report from CBS Charlotte. Now, why would he say a thing like that? Why don't we find out in just a minute on Coast to Coast AM. Dr. Jim Garrow, it only takes a Gulf of Tonkin, a 9/11, a few things like that, some deeper research into the events that led up to the attack on Pearl Harbor and all the way back to 1941, before you become a little false flag shy. And a couple of months ago, there was a report that surfaced. It actually it popped up on the scope of even mainstream media for just a minute, and then it was gone. And it was about a transfer of nuclear weapons from Dyess Air Force Base up to South Carolina. Then Lindsey Graham came out there and said that thing about those nuclear weapons in the hands of terrorists could result in a bomb coming to Charleston Harbor. And then the next thing I hear is that a weapon was actually detonated in the Atlantic Ocean about 600 miles off the Carolina coast, producing a seismic reading of 4.5 on the Richter scale. Would you mind just getting all over that? And then a bunch of high-ranking military men were fired, and they said,
here's another one you can look at. Must see, did Obama order nuclear EMP attack on the U.S.? And notice right up here that they already know before it happens that it could come to the Charleston Harbor.
There's CBS News. The night after we brought this out, that same day, he came out and said that nukes in the hands of terrorists could result in bombing to Charleston Harbor. So the thing was, as soon as we reported this, generals are fired. They're talking about nukes. I mean, definitely our source is real.
But absolutely.
But they don't know what was going on, see?
But, here we got Lindsey Graham, who, let's face it, he fumbled the football right away. He just mangled the message. I'm not sure who in the world was talking to the guy, but he ended up looking like an absolute fool. But the basic information about the danger of a nuclear device going off was correct. He was correct in that. But what he wasn't correct in was timing and the specifics of the whole thing. Now, let's get into timing here. Obama knew full well that an event was about to take place that takes place every 11 years.
Alright, so you should watch that video. Okay, so here's another one related to that. Ex-CIA operative military thwarting Obama's plan to nuke EMP America. And what we're really getting at here is the American Spring, calling all patriots. Is what we're discussing here. Alright, great. Now after watching that, let's listen to this.
Yeah, America's got a whole lot of challenges. Russia is a regional power that is threatening some of its immediate neighbors, not out of strength, but out of weakness. Ukraine has been a country in which Russia had enormous influence for decades, since the breakup of the Soviet Union. And we have considerable influence on our neighbors. We generally don't need to invade them in order to have a strong cooperative relationship with them. The fact that Russia felt compelled to go in militarily and lay bare these violations of international law indicates less influence, not more. And So my response then continues to be what I believe today, which is Russia's actions are a problem. They don't pose the number one national security threat to the United States. I continue to be much more concerned when it comes to our security with the prospect of a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan, which is part of the reason why the United States, showing its continued international leadership, has organized a forum over the last several years that's been able to help eliminate that threat in a consistent way.
So here we are. Obama's worried about Manhattan will get nuked. So he already knows that prehand. Something's not right. Okay, so what we're talking about here is the American Spring. So Obama's failed nuclear EMP attack. Where I'm going with this is, what makes you think that he won't set off a nuclear device somewhere here in the United States before the American Spring, which is May 16th? Because he's already talking about it. That's all he has to do is do that, and then he will claim martial law, and then he can avert the whole American Spring from ever happening. That's all he's got to do. That's probably what he's got planned. So the American Spring sounds like a great idea, but he's going to do something before it reaches that point. He's probably evil enough to do it. He has all the globalist New World Order people behind him, and they're going to continue with their agenda. That's only time will tell, but that's probably what he has on his mind.